Hi everyone, my name is Saleha Singh and welcome to Gupshup with Saleha. Tonight we are chatting about the power of music. Do you, like me, have a song for every occasion? And if you like that song, play it on a loop much to your family's annoyance? For the last few days, I have been listening to Taxiride's debut album and one song in particular that I have been listening on a loop. Let me share that song with you before I introduce you to my guest tonight.
Making a scene of it, I mean you could be there with me and make believe I find a place for us to be alone. They're in the depths of our emotions, don't you know, baby? Get set, everybody, we're on our way.
My guest tonight is Jason Singh, singer, songwriter, and the original founding member of the Australian band Taxiride. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm not too bad. I have my COVID scarf ready just in case someone comes over. But no,
Yes,
other than the same, probably the same as everybody right now. It's crazy time, crazy world.
it is. It is crazy times.
Mm.
So, Jason, I'll start the show with a few questions. Um, Music has been a big part of your life. Why
hmm
music? What does it mean to you?
I can probably, like I heard in your introduction speech there. I mean, I can pretty much tell you where I was when I heard every song that I love in my entire life, and music's really like the signposts of my development as a person, my personality, my heritage, and music's always been connected to like the big moments in my life. Where not I'm not just talking about making my music, but
Yes.
listening to
Listen.
music. I remember where I was when I heard the first Savage Garden song. I was in the shower and I heard the song and I was like, wow, Roxette's new single is
Yes.
unreal. And then I found out it was an Australian band. Um, I can tell you the first time where I was when I heard Smells Like Teen Spirit, um,
Yes.
all the Prince songs. So music is extremely important to me, both for my love of the sound of it and um, even so much a little bit my mental health as well. Like
Of course.
um, lately, because everyone's going through this COVID stuff. I've been putting on a lot of old music that takes me back, past, behind all that stuff. You know what I mean? Even way back before Taxi Ride, um, and if you close your eyes, you can almost be there again. You know what I mean? So it's
Of
like a
course.
time
Yes.
machine for me.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Music's like a time machine. It takes me back to the best moments of my life.
Yes. Jason, you played at the Wembley Stadium to full houses,
Yes,
and on not one occasion, but on two occasions.
yes, we did the 2 nights at Wembley.
Yes.
I wish I could say that it was Taxi Ride that sold all those people tickets, but we were lucky enough to go on tour with Tina Turner through Europe,
That must
and
have
we got
been
to play
really
Wembley Stadium
exciting.
twice.
Yes.
Oh, it was an incredibly large tour. She had more than 400 staff, three
Wow.
leapfrogging stages all over Europe. Um, she'd come in a helicopter and land at the back of the stage and do her
Whoa.
thing. So we were like guests on her tour, um, and we got to see how big music can get to people,
Yes.
and especially someone like that with all that history and all that great music. So yeah, we did get to play Wembley Stadium, and
What a
probably one
heady
of the only
experience.
bands.
Yes.
Yeah, probably one of the only bands ever to play it twice too from Australia. So
Wow. Oh,
um, quite exciting.
so you've made history.
Well, she made history, and we tagged along for the
Well,
history.
reflected glory is good, as
Yeah, well,
long as.
don't never let the truth get in the way of a good story, I say. But
Um,
we've been lucky enough to play all over the world to those kind of audiences. We've been We lived in America for a few years, and we toured over there, and then we toured all through Europe and Asia, Japan. We even went to India for a tour for
Oh, okay.
VH1.
Where did you
We
play in
played
India?
in Bangalore. Well, we did 5 shows: Delhi, Bangalore. Um, not really sure of the others. I can't really remember off the top of my
That's
head,
all
but
right.
I know it was in India somewhere.
And
uh,
playing to full
so
houses?
yeah, well, I mean, I was surprising. We were such a new band, but they really loved our song "Oh Yeah" off our
Okay.
third
Yes.
album, and it's a really funny story if you've got time to hear it of how
Yes,
we got signed in
absolutely.
America.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we were doing a radio performance in Geelong, which is a town out of Melbourne,
Yes, yes, we
and
know.
there was 10 competition winners in the radio station to hear us sing a song. Um, and one of the guys was an Indian um, gentleman, and he was living in Australia, or he was studying here in Australia. So of
Yes.
course I gravitated to the Indian guy because I don't know why we do that, but we just feel
But we
like that sort
always
of
do that. Yes.
magnetic thing happens, where you just end up with your crew. And it turns out that his brother was the head of A&R for a record label in India.
Wow.
And so I gave him our CD, not thinking anything of it, apart from, we had a few laughs together.
Yes.
And then the phone rang, and it was a record company in India. I think it was Universal, I think. I could be wrong. But yeah, they signed the band off that meeting. And we went over there and
Wow.
played an
Wow.
amazing 4 shows to 10,000 plus people. It was huge. It was huge. I
Wow.
couldn't believe how popular we were in India.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, obviously you have an Indian as the singer, that's always going to help.
yes.
But we do have an influence of we did have an influence of, and I'm still influenced by the sound of Indian instruments, the sitar, harmonium, tablas. I've got all those kind of instruments, and uh, from a young age, and just listening to my father watch movies, and um, he would record the songs from the films onto a cassette and then play them in the car and
Yes.
stuff. And um, yeah,
So
so
Indian
I always
music
had this
has
connection with the
yes.
Indian music scene. Yeah.
Um, Jason, your 2018 album Vale is a tribute to musicians who've had an
hmm
impact on your musical journey. Can you
hmm
please tell us something about those musicians, please?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the concept for Vale came about in 2016 when Prince passed away, who was probably my biggest influence as a musician and a songwriter. And as kind of an awkward teenager, I just would listen to Prince, who seemed like an awkward artist as well at the time, trying to find himself.
Yes.
And I had this amazing connection. He was like my best friend through music. And when he passed away, I was like, well, that's it. Music's finished now. We're done. Um, but then I started thinking about all the artists that had that impact, like Michael Jackson, George Michael, and Luther Vandross, and Jim Morrison from The Doors. Like all these
Yes,
moments in
of
my
course.
life were
Yes.
connected to artists that had passed away. Um, so I made a tribute album to them, and it was a tribute to the artists that contributed to me. And we called it Vale, and very, very proud of it. It's I didn't write any of the songs obviously, but
Yes.
each one of them had a massive impact on my life, and like I said, I could tell you where I was when I heard those songs. So yeah,
So any of the
that's that
living
album.
music so sorry, any of the living musicians made an impact on you? Like I love Led Zepp and I can listen
Oh
to
yeah,
Stairway to Heaven on a loop
I
for
listened to it today, and I like Led Zeppelin that much that I named my
yes.
children Zeppelin and Kashmir.
Oh, oh my
So that's
God.
how much. Where's your tattoo?
Oh, well, my husband and I met over a Led Zepp song, Stairway to Heaven,
Really?
our
There you
first
go.
date. Yes. So that's a very, very special song for the two of us
That's a
after
high
30
standard
plus.
for music on your first date. Where are you going to go from
Yes.
there?
Well, well,
Well, of course, there's so many musicians. I love, you know, too many to mention, but everything from 70s music and 80s. I like something depending on what I'm doing. Like
Yes,
I can listen, like if I go to the gym, I like to listen to like heavy rock. If I'm
of
in the car, I
course.
like to listen to sort of cruisy music and Fleetwood Mac and Prince and those kinds of bands. If I'm working in the yard, I like to listen to Soundgarden, Nirvana, those kinds of things. So, um, and then every now and then a great song comes on the radio that I really really like.
You
So,
know. So where does
um,
Beatles feature in your life, or does it not? I'm just
Beatles.
asking about.
Well, no,
Yes,
look, it does, and um, I wasn't raised on the Beatles like a lot of people were.
I
I was
was.
raised
Yes.
more on Elvis Presley,
Okay.
and there was this sort of theory that I had years ago that was, you're either raised on Elvis or
Elvis.
the Beatles.
Yep. I'm the
Um,
latter.
yeah, well, I was the early one, So my mum loved Elvis, and she used to dress me like Elvis and put guitars in my hands like Elvis, and put glasses on me like Elvis, and she really did. And so I got into the Beatles later in life, and even so now, my son Cash, his favorite band is the Beatles now.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm still discovering them, and there's that much to discover that I'm probably could be searching for a lot more years to come. The amount of things they achieved in 7 years was unbelievable. Still better than anything right now. But it's good because it gave me something new to discover, you
Yes.
know, later in life. So I missed it at the time.
Okay. Um, we all know about the power of music. It lifts us up. Like I have a music for every occasion, when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I want to be calm. Um, and music is obviously a big part of your life, Jason. Has there
Mm.
been a time when you've been down and out and music has actually saved you?
Uh, well, yeah, right now actually. Like I've probably listened to more music in the last 6 months than I've done in a long time, and I think that in a way, as frustrating as it all is for me and everybody, um, this reset and this shutdown is kind of you ask yourself the question again of, do I really love what I do, and do I want to do it
Yes,
for another 25 years? Like I literally haven't stopped for 25 years, playing music, touring, writing, recording, working with people and stuff, and had a family and just didn't like wasn't enjoying anything at the because I was just so busy all the time.
of course.
But this has sort of taken me back to before Taxiride was big and famous,
Yes.
um, where I was working with my parents, and we had an Indian food manufacturing company called
Oh,
Mahendra's. That was
okay.
my dad. Mahendra Singh was my dad. Um, so he was bringing like Indian food to the people of Melbourne. We had restaurants and things like that. But I had this really monotonous job of making bhuja, right? So I'd be cooking bhuja all day long, and none of my friends knew what that
Yes,
kind of food was and stuff. Um, and it was just so repetitive, like just doing the same thing over and over and over again, that it gave me this amazing time to dream up this massive idea to go, I'm going to just take on the whole world with music. Um, and we fell into the right people, and I met the guys from Taxiride, and it all just worked, and it just was a magic explosion.
um,
But this time now, when I'm in the backyard and I'm thinking about, how bad everything is, I just stick the shovel into the dirt and pick it up and throw it, and it feels like one shovel closer to the end. You know what I mean? Like it's just this repetitive thing that I'm really enjoying because it's giving me time to manifest the next 20 years of my life.
of course, of
I
course.
think I think that it's going to give a lot of artists so many things to write about because you're really stuck and you're trapped with your own feelings. So yeah, I think it hopefully some great things come out of this.
I'm sure it will.
Fingers
Um,
crossed.
I have a few questions from viewers for you. Um, who is your favorite Bollywood singer, and if any, why? If and do you actually sing Bollywood songs? This is from
Uh,
Garima Mehta.
Hi. Favorite. I mean, I'm still like, my father passed away when I was quite young, so my connection to Bollywood and stuff sort of left when he left, you know.
Of course.
So until then, it was singers like Lata Mangeshkar. You know, she sang all the movie songs. So,
Yes, she did.
um,
Yes.
and then movies like Sholay was my favorite. Still love Sholay. Actually, we played Hair Dosti when we went to India with a rock
Oh,
band. It
there
was
you go.
crazy.
Which, yes, I'm sure you'll play that for us.
Yeah, one day I will. One day I'll try and remember the words. Um, so yeah, I'm not really up to date with the modern Indian singers. So
Yes.
you know, traditional Indian singers.
Okay. Um, Sharmita Gupta says, wow, she loves it. So thank you, Jason. Um,
Okay.
I'll have Nikita who says, did your stomach survive in India?
No, it didn't. Maybe
You
she
had
has
the
some
Delhi
insight.
belly.
I had it twice, and it was
Okay.
so bad. And I was the only Indian amongst 10 of us, and I'm
And
the
you
one that got sick. I
always
was
happens.
for real. When we were in Bangalore, we played this massive outdoor concert, and we were staying in the most beautiful hotel. You know, it's like a seven-star hotel. Um, and so I just ate whatever, you know. I had a chicken curry there, and man, it
And that
destroyed
was it.
me. It destroyed me. Like I was vomiting on the stage. I'll never forget that
Oh,
show for as long as I live because of that.
oh,
And then when I was leaving at the airport, I got something to eat. And when I got home, I got it again.
oh,
That was
Lord.
the. But thank you for reminding me about that.
Okay, now I'm going to
There's got
read.
to be a way. There's got to be a way around it.
This question is for you, Jason. Shreya
Yeah,
wants to know, are you married or are you single?
I am married with two beautiful children.
So there, Shreya, sorry. Um,
Yeah, I'm sorry too. No, I'm only kidding. No, I do have quite a beautiful life here and a gorgeous
yes,
family.
you're fortunate.
So far, so good.
Yeah. Nikita wants to know if your parents are from India and if so, where?
Okay, my grandparents are from India actually, and they migrated to Fiji probably in about the 50s, I'd say, um, maybe even earlier. So they're from Uttar Pradesh in Punjab, and my mother's actually Maltese, so she's from the little island
Yep,
of
in
Malta
Malta. Yep,
off the coast of Italy. So
Italy.
yeah.
Um,
So that's
I'll,
I mean, my Indian connection. It's funny though, like when we went to India and I went touring there, like I was the most Indian guy in the world that day. You know, for some reason, when you touch the ground there and you're like, something happens. It's like your roots go into the ground, you know, and
literally.
I could feel like the whole of India, right, just like, you know, coming through me. It was a really cool experience. I'd love to go back there.
I'm sure you will when all this ends.
Well, fingers
And
crossed. I'm gonna
fingers,
try and work on some more Indian influenced music, and
yes.
um, yeah, maybe if my social media wasn't hacked a few weeks ago, and I lost all my connections over there, I could have put it out. But
Well,
maybe you guys can help me fix
we'll
that.
help you build it up again.
Yeah,
And guys, please show some love. Please love Jason's Facebook, follow him, show him some love on Insta,
yeah.
and go to his website.
Jason Singh Taxiride, Jason Singh Taxiride. Posted everywhere.
Yes. Rohit wants to know if you're planning to do any virtual performances during the lockdown.
We did one actually. We do a David Bowie tribute with some of my other friends. Another Indian, Dale Ryder from Boom Crash Opera.
Okay.
And we've also we all come together and sing the hits of David Bowie only twice a year on his birthday and the day he passed, which kind of come from the Vale concept.
Yes.
So 8th and 10th of January, we did a virtual show at Memo Music Hall. But I mean, it was great. I loved it, but I really need that connection with people. You know, like I can't sing to a camera. It's like it's not for me, like I like to just reach out and have someone right in front of me. I'd rather wait. As if it takes 10 years, I'd rather wait, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yes, of course.
And just
Um,
create something while I'm waiting.
okay. Uh, these are, we all know, are unprecedented times. What would you tell our viewers about how music can change their lives and what they can do to keep, to be mentally, not mentally sane, but, for their mental well being?
Yeah, well, I think I maybe touched on that before. Um, and it's just a thing that I do when I wake up in that mood, and I've been waking up like that a bit lately because of the uncertainty. I don't really like that uncertain feeling, which is making me a little bit anxious. But I will put on an album from before whatever that problem is, from before that, and go there in my mind and in my heart, and just remember that feeling of, sometimes you can actually even smell it, like it's crazy. But I can fully see the sounds, and yeah, I'd use music like that. Put on an album from when you were 10 or you were 15 or you were 20, um, a song that reminds you of your high school prom, whatever, your high school dance, or a girl or a boy from school, and then just try and, it'll change your thinking, and then all of a sudden you're not thinking about that bad stuff anymore.
Of course. Jas-
Yeah.
Jason, you had an interesting story about last year when you went sang at the Carols by Candlelight. Would you like to share that with our viewers? Your
Oh
taxi
yes,
driver.
I'd love.
Yes.
Yeah, my Raj, the driver.
I
So
hope
I live
Raj
like
is
an.
watching.
I hope so too. I should have sent him a text. Because we actually sort of started becoming friends and stuff. It's cool. It's pretty cool. But I live like an hour out of Melbourne, and we had a driver come all the way here to pick me up to, take me in a limousine to Carols by Candlelight. It's an amazing big production, Carols by Candlelight,
Yes.
um, and a beautiful feeling to do that. I've done it a couple of years in a row, and on the way home, I had the same driver. It's like, at midnight, it's Christmas night, he's driving me to my family while he's got to drive all the way back to his family. But he was telling me about, he's loves the harmonium, and but he doesn't have one. He's, wants to learn how to play, and wants me to record his songs one day. So I was just really touched by his story, and I felt for him, So it was Christmas night. We drove home, took an hour and 20 minutes to get home. I told him to wait a minute, and I went into my studio, which was at the back, and I grabbed my harmonium and I went to the car and I put it in his back seat, and I said "Merry Christmas" and sent him on his way. And it was really emotional. He started, having a cry and stuff, and it was really lovely. And now he sends me videos of him learning how to play the harmonium. So I don't know, it's just a beautiful sort of moment that I really enjoyed.
That's a really nice story. I
True
have a
story.
question. Yes, I'm sure. um, I have a question from a viewer, and he wants to know if COVID has affected the lives of artists like you and others.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, an industry that I've, worked so hard to like half my life,
Yes.
to be just taken away. I mean, um, the fact that, there's so much uncertainty about it. It's affected me obviously financially. It's affected every artist financially that was a working musician. Um, but yeah, I mean, look, I'm just hoping that we get it right this time, and we can get back to some kind of normality, whatever that is after this. I don't even know. But, I'm trying to look for the positives in it as well. Like, I've done so much around the house. I've got, so many different things that have happened in the last 6 months, working on different things. And I never would have had the chance if I didn't get to stop. And
Yes, of course.
in a way, it's been good because I can actually reflect on what a great career I've had. And if you don't stop and smell the roses, I mean, that saying's been there
Absolutely.
forever.
Yes. Yep.
Stop and
And we
smell the
never say
roses,
yes.
man. How good is it?
Yes.
I've had a really good run. I haven't had a break, and I'm calling this my career halftime. I'm in the club room. I'm having a drink, I'm getting the instructions from the coach, and I'm ready to hit the next 25 years. So try and look for the positives in everything.
So, Jason, we are coming. Oh, I have one more comment which I'll read. Please sing something for us, maybe a Bollywood song from Nikita Goel.
Nikita, that's her third comment. How many does she get? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys. We seem to have lost Jason. I'm hoping.
I don't know why.
Okay. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you all right. I can't see you.
Hang on.
So technology is good, and then it is not good.
I'm sorry. I
No,
got a call
don't
from my
be.
best friend, Andre.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't come back. Can you hear me though still?
Yes, I can still hear you.
Okay. Not sure. I have pressed the camera on and off. And it's not coming back.
That's all right. Maybe because somebody wants you to sing a song from your album. And maybe while we are trying to get Jason online, I'll see if one of us can get one of Jason's songs that we can play. Is it possible?
Making a scene of it, I mean you could be there with me and make believe I find a place for us to be alone. They're in the depths of our emotions, don't you know, baby?
You're back, Jason. So cannot hear you for some odd reason. I can't hear you. Sorry, there's some technical glitch and I seem to have lost. I can see you, but I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. Manish, do you think something is wrong? I don't know what's happening. There is obviously a huge technical glitch today. So I seem to have, I can see Jason, but can't. Okay, so we seem to have just lost everything. Yes, right. Guys, sorry. We seem to have lost Jason, and now it seems to be sign language, and we can't get the audio back somehow from Jason's end. So I have no idea. And I really, really do apologize. But I think we will just have to end the show. Jason, I hope you can hear me. Thank you very much for coming to the show and lovely chatting with you. Thank you to all my viewers. Thank you for watching. Thank you.